Okay, so this is not the first video that I actually wanted to do about DSP, alright? I originally was planning on creating a edited video of DSP being a bigot and a transphobe and all of that, and that's still going to be coming. But as we all know, every single day he puts his foot in his mouth and says the stupidest shit ever. And it's like every single day there's some new insane thing that he just pulls out of his ass. So I saw a couple of these videos from Snort Hogan, and I really wanted to quickly go over that. So I guess this is my first video on him technically. I'm not a new viewer though. I have been a detractor or whatever since gosh, since he moved to Washington, actually, a little bit before that. Because I remember watching the Retropray guys, and they were going over his Metal Gear Solid 2 playthrough, and it was just horrendous, as we all know. And that's when I first learned of him, and it was just been like a reality TV trash dumpster fire. And my boyfriend makes fun of me all the time. He's like, well, why you watch him? I'm like, it's insane. I've never seen a person this detached from reality. He is literally going insane in front of our eyes. And it's nuts. So, that's what I've been a detractor for a very long time. I just never bothered to try to make any kind of video or anything like that before. And I'm gonna try to do that now, because I kind of feel I have a unique viewpoint on some of the aspects of these, and I wanted to give my point of view. I am a LGBT person in the community. Also, I do have I'm on the autism spectrum too, so I figured I could give my input on some of this stuff. Maybe see where I'm coming from, I guess. And it's not about me, it's about this moron and how hypocritical he is. It's insane. And this hypocrisy is the word of the day. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at speaking. But yeah, let's start the video.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Tell you, drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip.
Let's do shoutouts for tips. Our first tip of the day. Let's see here. Sakura Miku did a $1.25 tip and says, since you started a DSP Reacts channel, does this mean the interview is pushed back? So...
Oh my god, you're so stupid.
The interview. What is he talking about? What are you talking about?
Oh, you know, that interview you wouldn't shut the fuck up about for the past 4 months now? Oh, you want to get your own side out? And how you just misunderstood and all this bullshit? You were fishing, and every single stream you would bring up the interview and talk about freaking Destiny and Moist Critical and every single freaking person. And it was like, oh my god. How, oh, you,
Talking about the interview. What on earth are you speaking of? You're referencing something from like early November, right?
And this is something he does all the time. Oh, because it's in the past, it's not relevant at all anymore. It never happened because it's in the past. Oh, you mean that thing I did 5 years ago? Yeah, you still did it. It's still relevant. And this was only like, even in January he was talking about this. This isn't something that was years and years ago. This was literally like a month ago, if not less than that. But oh, it's totally irrelevant because to him it was years and years before. And like, oh, of course his dent heads are gonna be like knowing what he's talking about. He brought it up every single stream he did. So like, oh, what do you mean? What are you talking about? You know what we're talking about, you know? You know what they're talking about. Stop playing like a fool and passing it off because you're butthurt that you couldn't find anyone interested in doing it because no one wants to do an interview with you except for detractors. And because you wanted some easy little bitch podcast with someone with a big audience that didn't know who you were, that wasn't going to ask you the hard-hitting questions. And you couldn't find anyone like that. And now you're butthurt about it, and you're doing this bullcrap DSP Reacts channel, and it's so stupid.
Okay, really quick. Back in early November, there was a lot of negativity towards me on the internet from a lot of...
Still are. Still is. Still a lot of negativity. You haven't... I'll get to that in a second, because he's going to talk about that in a second anyway.
But... other YouTubers and channels. All of a sudden, everyone was kind of dogpiling on me, saying, hey, DSP's kind of bad now, because it looks like every single stream, all he's literally doing is e-begging, and it's getting disgusting.
You still do. Every single fucking day. You still beg like a little bitch.
And basically, there's a lot of people, including Moist Critical, but others as well, who were kind of saying a lot of negative things about me. At that time, I said, I think that's unfair.
Any kind of criticism is negative in his opinion. There's no such thing as constructive criticism to him. And he admitted that Moist Critical was correct. And he even went for, what, a day or two where in his opinion, he quote-unquote stopped begging. Even though he was still begging, but not as obviously as normal. And then he went right back to normal begging. But he never actually stopped begging. It was just not as obvious. But he did change. No, I take that back. He did supposedly change because of Moist Critical's criticism. And he admitted it was a valid criticism that Moist Critical brought it up. And like I said, he just outwardly stopped begging, but he is still heavily implying and referencing the donation goals and all that bullcrap every single stream anyway. That is still begging, though.
Fair. If you really want to know the truth about me, why don't you interview me and actually have a chance to talk to me directly and ask me these questions rather than making unfair assumptions about me and my content? How about you have a man-to-man talk rather than just talking shit on your own avenues, right?
Where do I even start there? Man to man. If you were a man, you come and talk to me. Phil, they're getting their ideal of you through your own videos. Anyone could watch snippets here and there of things you have posted to your own stream and get an ideal of who you are. No one wants to actually talk to you. Even if they did talk to you, what are you going to say? All the excuses you're going to come up with? Oh, it's a business and I need tips to help run my freaking company. Man to man. Jesus.
Am I back? Looks like I'm back.
More proof his internet is shit.
Back. There was a dip. There was a dip.
You're a dip.
Back. I should be fine. Can you hear me again?
Unfortunately.
No sound. Can you hear me?
Is there anyone out there?
All good? I'm good. There is sound. Okay. I don't know. I'm checking. I don't see. It looks like the internet dipped out for a second and came right back. I don't know what happened.
But his internet is so good. Every single time he's playing Call of Duty, oh no, his internet's the best. It can't possibly be bad, and that's why he's winning all the time, right? No, it's everyone else's internet that's shit, not his, because he buys business class internet.
Perhaps just a blip in the lines. Because it did show that it dropped completely and then came right back. Okay, are we good? Let's continue. So, basically what's happened is, since November, a couple things happened. A bunch of people contacted me for the interview. A bunch of people exposed themselves as scumbags on the internet, including a particular guy that goes by the name of Destiny, who literally told me that he was contacting me for a legit interview, only to reveal that oh yeah, it was going to be a total trap and we were going to embarrass Phil and everything. So I'm glad that I was very skeptical in what I did, and to see who really are the legit people out there who are interested in covering issues, and the other people who are just scumbags.
Which is no one. No one was interested in having a serious interview with you, except for Review Tech USA. And even Review Tech USA would have asked you the harder hitting questions. And I don't know much about Destiny, so I can't really talk about that. But it's like, oh, he's not a legitimate interviewer because he plays games on the sides. Yeah, a lot of people do that when they interview Phil. It's like a lot of people will like have something playing in the background or something while they're doing an interview. And I guaranteed anyone you would have gotten to do an interview would have known something about you, would have had some harder hitting questions. It's not going to be some easy little, oh, where'd the logo, Phil? Oh, I got gout too, Phil. I can't even remember the quartering interview, which was bullshit, because he didn't ask any decent hard-hitting questions. And no one with a big enough following that knows nothing about you is going to be interested in doing an interview with you. And that's why you gave it up. You stopped. You bitch quit it, like you do a lot of your video games. You just gave it up, and now you're pretending that it never happened, and you're throwing it under the rug, which is fine, because we all knew there was no actual interview happening. All of us detractors knew there was nothing that was going to happen. But, and here you are just making excuse after excuse on why it didn't happen. You're like, well, I guess I gotta give up on my dream of having an interview and bringing in a bunch of new den heads that don't know anything about me, aren't smart enough to critical think or anything, and fall for my pignosis.
Bags looking to make a laugh and get a rise off of other people's misery, all right? We really expose certain people like Review Tech USA, Keemstar, and Destiny for who they really are, and then I got...
You exposed nothing!
Because I actually was contacted
by... You exposed jack shit.
...people who were legit and wanted to actually interview me. In fact, as of today, I still have 2 people who are very interested in interviewing me.
Bullshit! If you had people that were interested in interviewing you, you would have done it already. You would have fucking done it. And it would have been done.
Alright? But, what's happened? Okay?
Just like that silent majority bullshit.
I changed my attitude. I'm not that kind of same guy talking constantly about the bullshit and the nasty stuff, the stupid shit. I stopped. I don't... If troll bait comes up, right? And someone brings up a trolling topic or whatever, I ignore it. Correct? I just, whatever, that's troll bait. Let's continue. And we just
Alright, so I gotta add something here. I subbed to DSP a couple days ago, and I waited 24 hours because I was gonna troll bait him. I would never give him a dime. Not ever. But I wanted to see what he would say if I made a few comments in the chat about... What is it? Hogwarts Legacy? That stupid ass game? Yeah. So I wanted to see what he would say about that. And also, I spoiled the ending of the game. I went on his dumbass little chat that was running slow as fuck, and I spoiled the ending of the game, and I also kind of baited him a little bit. And to his credit, he never saw it. Well, he didn't say anything about it. So I don't know if he actually just chose to ignore it, or the much more likely option that he just didn't fucking see it, and because he doesn't read his chat at all. But I wasn't banned. There was no moderators in there, or if there was, I didn't get banned for it. Some of his dent heads were a little mad, but they ignored it after a second. So to his credit, he did ignore it, but I feel that he probably just didn't fucking see it and just kept playing, because he doesn't fucking pay attention to his chat anyway. But I will give it to that, if he did actually see my comments, I mean, he did ignore that. So maybe he's telling the truth here, but he always goes on and on about how he's changed and all this bullshit when you haven't changed at all since you first started fucking streaming. Not at all. And he's like, oh, I don't engage that anymore. You still get baited by a bunch of donations and tips every fucking day because you didn't respond to like 1 or 2 comments that I posted. Does not mean that you just changed totally and you don't respond to fake comments anymore. That's bullshit. You never change, Phil. You are always the same petty little bitch you always were. And so yeah, when I saw that I wasn't gonna get banned and he didn't reply to me, I'm like, whatever. I closed the stream and I unsubbed again because I'm not gonna keep my sub on there because I don't want to help him out. I felt dirty enough as it is just subscribing to him for that millisecond to get the comment in, and I felt dirty as hell for just doing that. So yeah, no. But like I said, to his credit, he didn't reply. So I honestly hope he's seen it. I do hope that I spoiled the game for him because that game's a piece of shit. But I mean, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan because of J.K. Rowling, and I'm not going down that because this isn't about me.
Continue on positively, right? If people come in here and say, what happened to the interview? Why do I need an interview? Everything here is good. Take a look at my streams. Attendance is good. Support is good. People are having a great time. I don't care about...
Attendance is not good. You're barely getting $200... You're barely getting 200 viewers per stream. You're constantly begging about low donations, low support. Didn't you just quit Call of Duty because you didn't get enough support or enough fun challenges, quote unquote? No, this is fucking cope right here. Things are not good. I almost guarantee you the person who originally made this comment about the interview is a fan of his. It's not even a troll bait. It's literally probably just a fan honestly wondering what happened with the interview that he wouldn't shut the fuck up about in the beginning.
These idiots in their own detractor circle say, who gives a shit about them? All I care about is that
yes, the group think.
Fun. And as long as I'm doing that and you guys are enjoying the content, then
you're not having fun. It's clear you don't like video games. It's clear you don't give a shit. It's clear it's the factory line of video games. You pump them out as fast as you can. Go from start to finish without going through any side quest or learning about the lore of games. You are doing this just for a profit for so many years, and it shows because of that.
I'm doing my job. And you guys have overwhelmingly told me over the last few months, I'm doing a good job with this. And
who has been fucking saying you're doing a good job? This is the whole silent majority bullshit. He puts so many words into his dense mouth. I'm surprised they haven't choked yet.
Stop being the guy that's all about money, 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 and you're happy about that.
That's what you are. That's what you've always been, is the money, money, money. You got Phil, I don't know anyone who's more greedy than you are.
Like where things are going. Now I've made improvements. Look, the visuals are so much better.
No improvements have been made. You have the same webcam you had before, slightly better, but it's still shit. It's still barely 720p. Your capture card is the same one you had before from like, what, 10 years ago? I'm sure you probably let your cats, it's probably still in the same position it was in before, on the floor, so your cat can still get at it.
Better. We got a Reacts channel going. So
React channel don't mean shit. It's just another way to get more money from your dens.
Why now do I need to do an interview? I think we're doing good.
I like how the ghost just randomly showed up because of this fake back screen that Snort put on.
All of a sudden, this crazy, public opinion turns against me again. Everyone's shitting on me for unfair reasons, and I feel like we need
unfair reasons, just reasons.
We'll do it. But I just find it funny that the people who are calling me out, and when I finally said, hey, let's do an interview, immediately shut up. Let's just put it that way, because there are some people who are very vocal.
Moist Critical does not do interviews anyway, and he was rightly criticizing you. Not everyone does interviews, Phil.
Negatively about me, and then the moment that I called him out and says, well, if you really don't like me, why don't you talk to me about it, and we can...
But you would not accept any interviews from detractors. Medicure was willing to do an interview with you. He wanted to, and he's criticized you a lot, but he also defended you when it came to that the escort drama. He defended you in that.
Figure it out. Oh, no,
So there's so many detractors that would love to have an interview with you that publicly criticize you, rightly so, for the bullshit and the attitude that you put out on the internet. And you refuse to do it. You are too much of a pussy to actually go and have an interview with any of these people that actually criticized you. Except for Moist, who didn't want to do it.
In that. All right, well then keep my name out of your mouth. It's either you give me a fair shake or you stop shitting on me.
Nope, we can do either one, Phil. That's the good thing about freedom of choice, freedom of free will. Life is not black and white. There's plenty of gray area. I can say whatever the fuck I want to you. I don't have to give you a fair chance. Your fair chance is your own YouTube channel. That's your fair chance. You can defend yourself all you want about all these allegations. You don't, but you could. But in order to do that, in order to get your side of the story, they would have to watch how many millions of hours of level 1 podcast bullshit, because you won't condense or make clips or smaller videos at all in where you defend yourself. And when you do quote unquote defend yourself, it's all moving the goalpost and lies and excuses.
You know what I'm saying? Because you always notice people who shit on me mostly are people above me, two people who are much bigger than me. That's punching down, man. It's fucked up. Like,
Oh my god. Sorry. Punching down. I honestly feel like he named himself the Level 1 podcast. I mean, obviously it's because of Keemstar, but another reason he named himself the Level 1 podcast was so he can always stay at level 1, so he can always claim that anyone else that criticizes him, even in the slightest, is punching down. Phil, no one is punching down. I'm not punching down on you because I have like fucking 0 subscribers and I don't even really make videos. Am I punching down? No. People are open to criticism when they put them whole lives on the website like this. And criticism is just that. They're not... Oh my god. I should have made a fucking script for this video, because I knew what was in this video, but holy shit, where do I even start with this? This video, like, I had 4 other videos I was going to do, like, in one video. This is going to be, like, what, half an hour now? Of just this one 6-minute video? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, I'm swearing way too much. Sometimes he's just insane. No one is punching down at you, Phil. People see what you are like. They could just hop in any of your live streams for like maybe 5 minutes, not even, and you will hear you begging and complaining, treating your viewers and dents like utter shitheads that they are obligated to pay you money. And that's all anyone really needs in order to make any kind of judgment against you. It's up to you to change their minds. If you don't care about the criticism, you don't have to admit it. You can ignore all the criticisms and go ahead about your normal life. But you don't do that. Oh, but I've changed. I don't address the criticism of bait. One person sent you one tip, and we are like, what, 7 minutes into this now? No, actually 5 minutes into this. Epic rant. Oh, but you've changed and you don't address criticism and bait anymore, huh? It's not punching down. People talk about you because you are a laughingstock. You are a lolcow, Phil. And you can choose to get mad about that or not, but changing your public image is going to take a lot more than just denying it and outright reacting to stuff like this.
Like, I don't need your shit. You know, I got enough shit in my life. I don't need people punching down at me. So either give me a fair shake or don't. But since they shut up about it, I guess I don't need to bother with it either.
Oh yeah, no one talks about you anymore, right, Phil? Who are you talking about? Is this just Moist Critical? He brought you up once, and it was only because he was talking about Boogie. And you and Boogie are both online e-beggars. That's why he brought you up. He barely even knows you, but he's seen one clip, and that's enough to know what you are like.
Okay, so that's my opinion. I'm not really interested in doing an interview. There you go.
The drip go. I got 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 the drip
It's
go.
like a faucet that's dripping. You can't stop. So what do you want me
This
to do?
man
Have a-
is
have a-
unfucking believable. Well, I had a few other videos. I might just make that into a separate video now. I didn't think I was going to go this long, but it's just insane. There's so much to talk about. This man is so delusional. He's in his own world. Whatever he says does never applies to him himself. And it's just, he's the king of hypocrisy. He really is. He can talk all the shit he wants about everyone else because he views them as bigger than he is, right? But God forbid anyone actually talks about him and he freaks out, oh, you're punching down a level 1. You made your podcast a level 1 podcast just so you could play victim, just so you could be a little beggar bitch. Oh, you're punching down. When most of the people who criticize you have a smaller subscriber count, make hardly any money whatsoever, if not anything. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. And the fact that he's done this so many times in terms of, oh, that was in the past, that doesn't count. Yeah, sure, I killed a wife and her kids, but that was in the past. You shouldn't be arresting me now. That was a year and a half ago, bro. That doesn't count. Yes, it does count. You did that. You said those things. And then he brings out, well, I changed. No, you didn't change. You never changed, Phil. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you like it, considering this is technically my first video on him and everything. Again, I wasn't even really planning on making this one. But yeah, see ya.